Weather calling balls and strikes. Endy Chavez in the box, and we're underway. Blackburn clips the corner, strike one. Chavez a hit in 4 at bats last night. Very speedy hitter, and of course this series has lost a little bit of its star power with Mauer not playing for the Twins and Ichiro not playing for the Mariners.
Well, Chavez, a guy that likes to bunt. Creedy at third, playing in front of the third base bag, and also Justin Morneau at first, because Chavez, that type of bunter, he likes to take that ball with them sometimes down toward that first base line.
Breaking ball misses, and it's 2-1.
Well, we talked about the sinking fastball of Nick Blackburn. He also has that hard slider, the curveball, and a changeup. 39 walks in 193 innings, so he throws strikes. And there's that two-seamer that'll work back over the plate.
Clocked at 92 miles per hour on your screen. 2-2. It's driven to right, and a one-hop skip to Span, and Chavez is aboard with a leadoff single.
Well, he let that pitch up a little bit. After trying to keep the ball down, Chavez more of a slap type hitter, and that's what he needs to do to get on. Just kind of reaches out and pokes that ball into left field. Now Chavez, over 2,000 at bats, has only 17 home runs, so you can see that's the type of hitter he is, just a slap type hitter.
And in Blackburn's second season, the Twins hope that the starts will be about the same. You can only maybe add one more start to that, but that the innings pitched will be elevated over 200. Called strike to Franklin Gutierrez. Gutierrez hit a pretty good pitch last night for a big 2-run home run for the Mariners, just beyond the reach of Carlos Gomez in center.
I thought Francisco Liriano pitched an outstanding ball game last night. Made really one mistake in his feeling, was that breaking ball he left up to Ken Griffey Jr. You have to tip your hat when Gutierrez really kind of gulped that ball out, and Carlos Gomez almost caught that ball in straightaway center.
2 strikes to Gutierrez. Liriano didn't walk a batter, and I think the Twins, getting 7 innings from Liriano, would like to take that another 33 times this year. 2 strikes to Gutierrez. And Gutierrez doesn't go after the breaking ball.
Yeah, that's that hard slider down and away. What Blackburn's trying to do right here with that slider or the sinker, get a ground ball. Chavez at first base, even though he has good speed, not much of a base stealer throughout his career.
Shot foul at the plate. Remember last year too, teams almost never tried to run against Blackburn. So quick to the plate. And so Chavez, who's spent most of his career in the National League, of course, trying to figure out the delivery of Blackburn. You can see just 31 double play balls. Just Mark Burley induced more ground ball double plays last year than Blackburn. 1-2 again to the Seattle center fielder, and there goes Chavez, and the pitch lifted foul over the Seattle dugout.
Well, maybe a little hit and run, a tough pitch sometimes for a base runner to run on with 2 strikes, because Gutierrez has to protect the plate. And what that does, you saw Casilla moved to second base, so it leaves that big hole at second base. And Gutierrez fouled it off.
Chavez goes again, and the pitch driven to the right field corner. And that ball is a fair ball, stays in the ballpark. Chavez will be held at third. And the Mariners have a threat here with a single backed up by a double.
Well, Gutierrez, we talked about it last night, a young man that really didn't get steady playing time for the Cleveland Indians. And he's going to get that here. A 2-run home run last night, and takes his fastball the other way. A mistake by Blackburn, because Blackburn needs to keep the ball down in the strike zone. Ball stays in the ballpark. Span gets it back in, but Gutierrez with his first double of the year.
Hey, we don't know where this inning's going to go, but Nice little play by Span on the right field corner. Remember last night he played in the other corner, and the right field corner, a tricky one here at the Dome with that short foul fence. Here's Griffey, second and third, nobody out. And Morales has to sprawl to catch ball one. Griffey started phase 2 of his Seattle career with a home run last night, hooking one down the line in right field. Off-speed pitch, tapped foul.
Yeah, phase 1 from 1989 to 1999 with the Seattle Mariners, 11 seasons, where he was a 10-time Rolling Gold Glove winner during those 11 years. 13-time All-Star, MVP in the American League back in 1997.
Peeled foul, and it's 1-2. Jim Thome's hit 27 home runs at the Dome. Griffey right behind him. Of course, last year they were teammates at the end of the year with the White Sox. 1-2. Blackburn, not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, would love to get one here. And Griffey wastes a pitch near the outside corner.
Well, that's what good hitters can do right there. Foul off nasty pitches. I was talking to him before the ball game about Liriano, and he said, yeah, he just kept pounding me in. He said, even showed me the bat where all the marks were on this side, on the handle side. And he said, finally, he left one out over the plate, and I didn't miss it.
1-2 again to Griffey. And another foul. Blackburn has thrown 15 pitches already, does not have an out. Make that 16 pitches, 12 strikes. Hoping for some damage control. Nice dig by Morales, and it's 2-2. Morales asked to catch at least tonight's game, perhaps tomorrow's game. The Twins figure they're going to need to make a decision with Mike Redmond sometime tomorrow. Either he is going to be available for the next couple of weeks, or he's not. With no off days, Twins are in a position where they might have to make a move if Redmond doesn't respond well to his workout today. Now 3-2 to Griffey with Beltre on deck. So he's fouled off some tough pitches with 2 strikes, and now he's worked the count full.
Well, the infield playing back, they will give up a run right here to get an out. Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, watching.
3-2 to Blackburn. Or to Griffey from Blackburn. Popped up right side, pulled the string on him on 3-2. And Casilla with the grab for out number 1.
Very good pitch right there by Blackburn. When you are not a strikeout pitcher, you have to use different things to get the hitter out. So he goes to the changeup right here, and Griffey a little out front pops it straight up for the first out. Very good pitch by Nick Blackburn.
So a long at bat. Blackburn wins the battle, and here's Beltre. Slider that clips the corner. Beltre with a leadoff double. He came around to score the first run of the game last night. That's to left field. Delman Young with the running catch. And scoring is Chavez. And it's a busted bat sacrifice fly for the first run of the ball game.
Well, he got in on Beltre right there, and it just shows you the power that he can generate, picking up the RBI, hitting it deep enough, and with Chavez's speed, he's going to score easily from third base. Delman Young catches it, gets behind the ball nicely, throws it back in, but the Mariners take an early 1-0 lead.
And now Branyan. And if Blackburn can get Branyan here and get out of this inning with just one run allowed, that would be a job well done.
Yeah, it's good damage control. Exactly what Felix Hernandez did last night in the 5th inning with bases loaded, nobody out, and the Twins were only able to score 1.
Now he's got to get Branyan, and he misses the inside corner, ball 1. Branyan hitless last night. Great power. Through his major league career, contact challenged at times. And he bounces it to first. Morneau bobbles it. Blackburn covers the bag, and that's a pretty good job of damage control right there. Nick Blackburn giving up a first inning run.
Oh, good job of damage control right there.
Menard's batting order for the Twins has Denard Span on the leadoff spot. Alexi Casillas second. Michael Kadire, the designated hitter, hitting third. Then Justin Morneau, Joe Creedy. Delman Young getting his first start of the year at a very good spring training. Then Carlos Gomez, Jose Morales, and Nick Punto.
On the pitcher for the Mariners, Eric Bedard, making 15 starts last year, 6-game winner. His last start coming July 4th of last year. A couple stints on a disabled list. And looking for his first career win against the Twins. 0-5 in his career with it in 7 career starts.
Got a beach ball drop on the field, so we'll have a little bit of an extra delay before Bedard's first pitch. Bedard acquired by the Mariners, and on a smaller scale, it reminded me at the time, and still does, I guess, to some degree, of another trade that Andy MacPhail pulled off when Andy was then the general manager of the Twins. Span takes a strike. Andy got 5 pitchers from the Mets for Frank Viola. In this case, MacPhail, now running the show with the Orioles, got 5 players for Bedard from the Mariners. Chopped high off the plate.
Put it in your back pocket.
And Span hits an infield hit. It traveled forward only about 70 feet from home plate and went at least that high in the air.
Well, take a look where this ball hits, right off of the top of home plate. And Span hustling down the line, and Beltre had no chance.
Northland Ford defense for the Mariners, and if you were watching last night, you heard us talk about how they feel they've greatly improved in this area, even with Ichiro not on the lineup. Valentin, Gutierrez, and Chavez can cover some ground out in the outfield. A Gold Glove winner at third in Beltre. And the rest of the defensive alignment for Seattle. Here's Casillas taking high, ball 1. Casillas with a first inning hit in last night's game. The Twins had a threat, but couldn't convert that threat into some runs. trying to answer Seattle's run in the top of this inning. Steps up in the box and takes a strike, 1-1.
Bedard, a left-hander that'll get that fastball in the low 90s. That last pitch, the curveball, and then a changeup. In his second season with Seattle with the Orioles from 2003 to 2007, before that trade you talked about, Dick.
Bounce to first. Branyan goes to the bag and Span advances.
Well, Branyan doesn't have a lot of time at first base. This is kind of an adventure for the Mariners over there, and maybe made a little mistake right there. Make sure you get the lead runner. Instead, he thought about going to first as he did, and then maybe getting Span at second, but Span too quick.
And now Kadire, who drove in the lone Twins run last night, has a chance to drive in another one here in the first inning tonight. Down and in, ball one. Kadire, the right fielder. In last night's game, the designated hitter today. Jason Kubel not in the starting lineup, giving the Twins some left-handed options late in the game as a pinch hitter. He and Brian Busher do that. Up and in, 2-0. Pregame show, Ron Coomer was talking about Kadire probably being a fixture in right field for the Twins, or at least in the lineup. He might be the one outfielder less affected by this glut of outfielders that the Twins have. 2-0. And of course, Kadire was so beset by injuries last year. The key number for him might be 150 in terms of games played. He played in 150 games a few years ago and had a fantastic season. Fouled back.
Well, players in the minor leagues look for opportunities, and it was Denard Span who took the opportunity when Michael Kadire was on a disabled list. So Kadire has nobody other than to blame himself if he doesn't get playing time out in the outfield because of his injuries last year. That man right there, Ron Gardenhire, Delman Young, you know, he played in almost every game last year. Carlos Gomez, and then Denard Span took over for Kadire.
When Kadire played in 150 games a few years ago, he scored 102 runs and drove in 109. And you know, by all accounts, that's an awfully solid year. So the Twins know what Kadire can do if he's healthy enough to get consistent playing time. Morneau on deck. 2-2. Twins trying to tie it up here in the first. Foul tip. Georgima hangs on, and Kadire strikes out again. 2 down. Morneau coming to the plate, and Ron Coomer down by the Twins dugout.
I think he's had a little mic problems.
Okay.
I had a chance earlier today to talk to Justin Morneau about facing Bedard, and he's had a lot of success. He told me how difficult it is facing this guy because he cuts the ball and sinks it. He throws changeup lefty to lefty. And the other thing is he crossfires you, so you have a hard time seeing the baseball. To me, this is where Justin Morneau is such a good player, because mentally he can lock in against a pitcher who's tough to see the ball and has good stuff, and still has great success against this guy Bedard.
1-0. Morneau takes an off-speed pitch over for a strike.
Well, Ron, is it maybe because of Justin Morneau has such great plate coverage? I mean, that breaking ball right there, he kind of let it go. But I know Justin last year, over the last couple of years, he hit so many balls the other way with power.
You know, Bert, I think also, I agree with you. And the other thing, too, is when you're facing a guy you don't see the ball real well, you don't try to do too much.
And Gutierrez glides over to make the catch to end the inning. The Twins get a leadoff chopper for a single, leave Span in scoring position. It's still 1-0. last night. And now we head to the second inning, and Nick Blackburn hopes for a quicker time of it in the second inning. He'll face Jose Lopez, Kenji Jojima, and Vladimir Valentin.
Talked so much about my birthday last night, I forgot to wish Mary Wither, 98 years old yesterday. I want to wish her happy birthday from Paynesville, Minnesota. I know she's watching. Mary, happy belated birthday. Only 364 more days until your 99th birthday.
1-0 to Lopez. And now up high 2-0. Blackburn had his workload retarded during spring training because his left knee got a little ouchy shortly after workout started in earnest. They shut him down and then built him back up again. It's part and parcel of having knee surgery. It's going to come back and throb from time to time.
Yeah, he had knee surgery over the winter to repair that, and then he kind of had some swelling, and he had to take some time off, but he was scheduled to be the 5th starter. That would have been that first game in Chicago, but with Scott Baker put on a disabled list, it just moved Nick Blackburn up the rotation.
3-2 now. Lopez, not one who takes a lot of walks. 644 at bats last year, only 27 walks. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-2. And he drew a walk, a leadoff walk, and the leadoff man is on again for the Mariners here in the second inning. So Blackburn has struggled here at the outset, and he'll pitch to Jojima.
Well, maybe just working on that double play. See if he can get a ground ball right here off of Jojima.
Jojima hoping to bounce back after a terrible year last year for the Mariners. There's a ground ball. Creedy cuts it off. Out at second. Quick relay. There's your double play.
A great job by Joe Creedy right there, cutting across, because if that ball had bounced one more time to Nick Bulto, they wouldn't have been able to turn a double play. Cuts across, quick feed over to Casilla, and then it's up to Casilla to make a good throw, and he does. Great range right there by Creedy, and a good double play turned behind Blackburn.
So quickly, 2 out, and here's Valentin. At the knees, a strike.
Valentin, just a youngster from Curacao. Up and down the last couple years, made the club out of spring training because Ichiro Suzuki on a disabled list.
Suzuki recovering from a bleeding ulcer, which they say started just prior to the WBC. Morales digs it out, 1-2. And a breaking ball, tap foul. Talked a little bit about this last night with Ichiro and a lot of the other Mariners missing time from the Peoria, Arizona spring training side. A lot of guys like Valentin got a chance to showcase their talents in front of what is essentially a whole new regime in Seattle. New general manager, new coaching staff.
Well, we mentioned last night, if you lose 101 ball games, things happen, and they happened in Seattle. A lot of new faces.
Creedy gets another chance. On target to Morneau. Leadoff walk does no damage. Blackburn gets a couple of ground balls that turn into 3 outs.
Golden Valley just a few miles away from here. What's a sense of pride that takes place each and every day inside Target Field?
Well, I think it's really great. I mean, our company is based out of there, and just to see 700 people go to work on a daily basis with a sense of pride and accomplishment with safety, quality, and productivity, hitting our schedule, and it's a really, it's a really great thing to see that much pride that you don't see in a lot of other building projects.
Now, Target Field is 2/3 of the way complete, ready for start in April of 2010. The seats are going in pretty soon. When will we see grass in Target Field, Greg?
Well, we're actually going to start some of the site work here pretty quick, and the first piece of sod should be by Labor Day of this year.
And no reason for any kind of delays. We'll be ready for first pitch 010, right?
No, those guys are working really, really hard to make sure we see the first pitch.
Greg, thanks for your time, and thanks for all your efforts here on the new home of the Twins in a year.
Thank you.
All right, Dick and Bert.
Thank you, Robbie. The grass, by the way, is being grown right now out in Colorado. And it's going to be pulled up, the sod is, and they're going to bring it over here to Minnesota and plant it late summer, early fall.
I can't wait to see all the Cambria product in this new stadium. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Marty Davis with Cambria.
Creedy swings and misses. Bedard strikes out the Twins' third baseman for the first out of the second inning. White Sox had their weather-delayed season opener today at U.S. Cellular Field. Gil Mesh pitched an outstanding ball game, and then the Royals reworked their bullpen. Kyle Farnsworth making his first appearance for his new team. And Jim Thome got him for a 3-run home run, and the White Sox beat the Royals 4-2. One down, here's Delman Young. And a check swing dribbler, and Bedard catches, spins, and fires, and Young is quickly retired. 2 away.
Well, Bedard already with a couple strikeouts over his career that started with the Baltimore Orioles back in 2002 when he first came up. He's averaged almost a strikeout per inning pitched. In his career, 739 innings pitched coming into this ball game. His 127th major league start. In the 739 innings pitched, 711 strikeouts.
2 gone quickly here in the second, and here's Carlos Gomez. And a breaking ball snaps over, strike 1. Gomez looking for his first hit of the season. Another breaking ball misses, 1-1. Three in a row and another called strike.
Very good delivery by Bedard. Has a very good solid delivery where he really maintains a good balance point right there, and then explodes toward home and picks up his third strikeout.
3 breaking balls, and then he singes the inside corner with a fastball, and the Twins go down quickly in the second. Explore Minnesota. You can visit exploreminnesota.com to plan your next Minnesota vacation today. Looking at scenes from the Duluth Harbor, the westernmost port of the Atlantic Ocean. And adjacent to the harbor is Canal Park, the aerial lift bridge, which spans the short canal into Duluth Harbor. A lot of great hotels and restaurants in that area. Also, the finish line there for Grandma's Marathon. Now, I know you've never run a marathon, but have you been to Duluth?
I have one time when George Metterwald, former catcher for the Minnesota Twins, was a manager in the Independent League up there. Beautiful place to visit. How about yourself?
The Caravan regularly, and my family and I have gone up on the North Shore many times, or a few times anyway. Gooseberry Falls. Here's Unieski Betancourt. And Blackburn starts him with a strike. Betancourt, Chavez, and Gutierrez facing Blackburn in the third. Wrapped to Creedy, third straight ground ball hit to the Twins' third baseman, one away. The first two outs recorded by Blackburn were hit in the air. Griffey's pop-up to Casilla, and then Beltre's sacrifice fly to left. And every out since then has been hit on the ground. One down, and Chavez will hit.
I think we see that a lot, Dick, from a sinker baller, especially early in the ball game. You know, Blackburn, again, when he's relaxed, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs.
And it's said of sinker ballers, if they are given extra days between their starts, that is particularly a problem. Now, Blackburn pitching with a couple of extra days. I mean, no one gets into a rhythm this time of the year, but it's been 6 days since he pitched last in a Grapefruit League game, so a little extra time between starts.
Well, it's a little different during the season than your opening day assignment because you're pumped up. You know, I mean, there's no reason for Blackburn, even though he said that 1-0 loss to Chicago, you know, he can't get any more nervous than that. You're nervous for opening day and you want things to go your way, and then you have the little pest hitters like Chavez there to help ruin it. Chavez getting his second single of the ball game.
Because Morneau had to play in close because of his speed. The chopper bounced over his head. Special experiences are available for large groups, like leading the 7th inning stretch. Pre-game opportunities are available for choirs, bands, and dance teams. Call 800-33-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com/groups to get all the information. So Chavez aboard. Couple of times he took off towards second base. Gutierrez eventually cracked a double into the right field corner. Now Chavez goes on the first pitch, and he steals second easily. Jose Morales is not known as a great defensive catcher or a great thrower, and the Mariners wasted a little time in running on him here in the third inning.
You can look at the catcher, but you know what? Look at the jump he had off of Blackburn right there. Chavez last year with the Mets stole only 6 bases in 133 ball games. Now, prior to that with Montreal, that's when he ran more. So Seattle would like to get some more speed out of Chavez. Back in 2004, he stole 32 bases.
1-0, and Gutierrez takes low 2-0. Gutierrez getting a chance he felt he never got with the Cleveland Indians, where he was asked to play right field. And the Mariners have all but told him, look, you're our center fielder, and we're going to hit you toward the top of the lineup. There's a called strike, 2-1.
Some more birthday cake delivered up here. I think the cake we didn't eat yesterday is back here.
Very nice.
And a nice little card right here. I'll have to eat the card.
3-1 with Ken Griffey Jr. on deck. Blackburn worked around a leadoff walk in the second. Was hit off of Gutierrez's foot. He never left home plate. And it's 3-2.
Well, Chuck Merriweather, the home plate umpire, never really made a call, and that's what he's talking to Gutierrez about right there.
See if this hit his front foot.
Let me see, where's that pad? Sure looked like it got a part of the shoe right there.
There's Don Wakamatsu. He's a coach with Buck Showalter's Texas Ranger Club for a number of years. Not his first time inside the Metrodome here, but his first time as a major league manager, obviously. 3-2 to Franklin Gutierrez. And another bounder foul. Blackburn hoping to get Gutierrez here for the inning's second out. The ground ball. Punto bobbles it, picks it up, and does a nice job with that strong throw across the diamond to get Gutierrez for out number 2.
Well, this is persistence right here by Nick Punto. Even though the ball bounced out of his glove, he didn't stop trying to make the play. Right there, ball bounces out. He sees it, gets it back in the glove, and then showing off that strong arm just to get Gutierrez at first base. Nice play by Nick Punto, even though that's a ball normally he catches and makes it look easier than that.
Here's Griffey. Had a long battle with Blackburn, and Blackburn got him to pop up on a changeup for a key out in the first inning. Now a fastball that misses the inside corner. 1-0. Nice block by Morales. 2-0. First base is open, but pretty potent hitter in Beltre is on deck.
Want to be very careful here with first base open, like you mentioned, Dick.
3-0. Fourth 3-ball count for Blackburn. And Beltre on deck.
See, this is where a lot of times as a pitcher you just throw it hard in. If you walk him, you walk him. And instead he threw that pit ball up and away and a second walk.
So now first and second, and Beltre will come to the plate with 2 men aboard.
Well, let's take a look at the first pitch. Pretty good pitch right here. It looked like a ball that could have been called, a fastball middle in that he did not call. Then Blackburn went with a breaking ball. Then they stayed away. Good movement on those pitches. But see, a lot of times when I had first base open like that, I would go hard in on that hitter. I didn't care if I walked him. If I hit him, that's fine. But it sends a message next time he's up.
Beltre jumps on the first pitch. He'll drive in a run. And the Mariners make it a 2-0 ball game. Chavez scores, and Beltre comes up with another big hit against the Twins.
Well, second RBI of the ball game for Beltre. Hit the sacrifice RBI in the first inning. And right there, even though he got jammed, the ball was up in the zone, and he's strong enough to fight it off. How quick he is, able to get the barrel of the bat out quickly, hitting it into a left center field. And Chavez scores for the second time in a ball game.
And here's Branyan, first and second, 2 away. Popped up, a foul ball, and back into the seats. Ron Coomer, Adrian Beltre has been a real pest to the Twins over the last couple of years.
Dick, he has, and I've watched him play for a long time, and he gets big hits and drives in big runs. To me, you know, we got a young pitcher on the mound. Sometimes you wonder, knowing the age of Ken Griffey Jr., his reputation is from years past, not current, even though he hit the home run. I really would have liked to have seen Blackie go right after Junior, like Bert was saying, and pound him in and try to strike him out or get an out, as opposed to walking him kind of unintentionally, intentionally, and leaving Beltre to get a free shot at knocking in a run. That's a tough situation to be in for Blackie, to face Beltre.
2 strikes to Branyan and a swinging strike 3 to end the inning. A couple of Mariner hits and another Seattle run. It's 2-0.
Guys, with the Seattle Mariners, you talked about protecting Ken Griffey Sr. or Jr. with Beltre. Well, Russell Branyan, he's got to, hit better, or clubs are going to start pitching around Beltre. So that's how clubs can protect each other's hitters in that lineup.
Another run for Bedard. Now a 2-0 Seattle lead. Jose Morales takes strike 1, leading off the Twins' 3rd inning. Big swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
In last night's ball game, Felix Hernandez faced 31 batters. He's able to get strike 1 on 25 of the 31. And Bedard doing the same thing. He's faced 8 batters, been able to get strike 1 on 6 of the 8. Another key to pitching consistently.
And Morales swings over a breaking ball, and already 4 strikeouts from the first 8 hitters against Eric Bedard.
Well, we talked about Bedard as far as his delivery and how he keeps that right shoulder in. Does a great job of hiding that ball as long as possible. And as you look at his delivery, you can almost see Bedard. The hitter at home plate can see Bedard, where a lot of pitchers you can't read their names, a la Louis Tiant almost.
Here's Punto. And he takes a fastball on the outside corner, a strike. And again on the outside corner.
Well, you see the good curveball right there. Good tight rotation.
Checked his swing. 1-2. Twins haven't done much scoring so far, just 1 run in an 11 and a third innings. Punto lifts it foul over the Seattle dugout.
Well, Nick Punto, one of the players who's had some success against Bedard. 5 hits in 12 at bats, a couple doubles.
Another check swing, 2-2.
That's a good take right there by Punto, because that's his strikeout pitch, that curveball down just on the other side of home plate. Just had Morales swing through it for his 4th strikeout.
2-2 to the Twin shortstop. Laced foul. You look at the Seattle team, and they clearly underachieved, but in a way that's somewhat of a compliment, in that individually these players are capable of so much more than what they did last year. They've got an ace, a #1 guy in Felix Hernandez. Bedard, when healthy, awfully good pitcher. Here's a chopper to short. Betancourt guns it across, 2 down.
Well, then you have Carlos Silva. Hopefully the Mariners are not going to get the same year they had out of them last year.
Back-to-back historical seasons are yours for the viewing if you join the Twins season ticket family. Lower level 20-game plans start at $380 for the final season in the Dome, and that gets you a spot in line for the seat selection process at Target Field. Call 800-33-TWINS right now and get more details. 2 down. Here's Bedard Span. He chopped one about 100 feet in the air and beat out an infield hit. Outside, ball 1. Span drew a couple of walks last night. Dropped a sacrifice down. Lifted to left field, and Andy Chavez is there. And Bedard has retired 9 in a row and has a 2-0 lead.
Circled from Wilmer, and Joan Kuiper from Crystal, Minnesota. Happy 89th birthday.
Jose Lopez will lead things off in the 4th against Nick Blackburn. And the first pitch up and in.
Yeah, too many pitches so far for Blackburn. 57 right now, starting his 4th inning of work as he falls behind on Lopez.
Pitch inside, and Lopez hooks it foul. 1-1. He doesn't walk very often, but he drew a leadoff walk. And then on the next pitch, Jojima wrapped into a double play. A little pop-up short left field. Delman Young puts it away. 1 down. A lot of these starting pitchers for the Twins, they're all very good. They're very young, and a lot of them came up through the minor league system together and have bonded.
We all help each other. We're pulling for each other, and we want each other to win. Obviously, that's going to help the team out. So it's great. It's a lot of fun. You go home in the off season and you start to miss that a little bit. So it's good to get back around here and see the guys, and it makes it exciting having such a close-knit group.
Josema takes a strike.
That's a good point right there, because, you know, these guys are expected, so much expected out of this young starting staff, but it's the camaraderie that they have had over the last couple of years to get to know each other in the minor leagues and then experiences at the major league level. All led by that man right there. Rick Anderson does a great job of handling the pitching staff, the starters and the relievers.
Little fly ball left center field. Young, Gomez. Gomez calls off Young, 2 away. So now Blackburn getting some fly ball outs here with 2 of them here in the 4th inning. That'll bring up Valentin.
Hey, threw a great breaking ball to Lopez. That Lopez is way out front that hit that fly ball to Young, and right there Josema on a pitch up just got underneath it. Threw the fly ball to Gomez.
Valentin hit a 2-hopper right to Joe Creedy to wrap up the 2nd inning. Slider clips the corner. Blackburn, and it'll roll into center field. Almost a check swing base hit for Valentin.
Well, that first pitch, the curveball, that had good downward motion. That slider right there kind of hung a little bit. And Blackburn, whose delivery falls a little bit toward first base, just got out of the way of that line drive. 5th hit for the Mariners.
So Valentin at first with 2 away, and here's Yuniesky Betancourt. Blackburn, who saw Chavez take off on the first pitch after reaching in the 3rd, paying some attention at least to Valentin at first. Blackburn shaves that outside corner. Strike 1. Jammed him, and a little looper to center, left center. Young's throw coming to 3rd, and now Creedy fires to 2nd. Safe at 2nd. So Young went for the lead runner at 3rd, and that opened up second base for Betancourt. And the Mariners are putting together a 2-out threat.
It's not a bad play right there by Young because of the aggressive running by Valentin. He took the chance right here. Valentin running on a soft line drive to left field. Young got behind it. Aggressive throw, but good piece of base running by Betancourt. Getting going from 1st to 2nd.
Ooh. You see his sweep tag nearly nailed Betancourt at second base. So now 2 in scoring position, 2 out. And Chavez, who's already got a pair of hits, takes strike 1. Chavez lined a single to right, and then he chopped one over the head of Morneau. He scored both runs in the game so far.
He saw the defense of the Twins not playing very deeply. And he went back inside again.
It looked like that had plenty of the plate. 1-1. Breaking ball wrapped through the hole to right. Valentin scores. Betancourt coming around. Span bobbles it, and it's 4-0 Seattle. 3 straight 2-out hits for the Mariners. And a 4-0 lead.
Well, that was almost like that 2-run single that Lopez had in the 9th inning last night. Just sometimes they hit the ball on the ground and it has eyes. Into right field. Span bobbles it right there, but with 2 outs, Betancourt was going to score anyway.
7 hits for the Mariners, 3 straight hits. And here's Gutierrez, who has the only extra base hit. And Chavez stole second in the third inning and eventually scored on Beltre's RBI single. This will be the 70th pitch of the night for Blackburn whenever he delivers it to home plate. And a first pitch strike. Only once has Blackburn faced fewer than 5 hitters in an inning, and that was the second inning, and in that inning he issued a leadoff walk. So it has not been a smooth ride for the Twins right-hander so far. Off the knuckles and a little jam shot, Punto to the bag to end the inning. 3 straight hits and 2 more Seattle runs. It's 4-0. Fox Sports North is brought to you by Quest. Get in the loop and join the community that's changing the way people connect. By Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. Expect grand. And by Chrysler. From power and efficiency to innovation and style, it's the way our vehicles come together that sets us apart. Chrysler. Alexi Casilla leading off the Twins fourth with Eric Bedard. Stake to an early 4-0 lead, and Casilla takes up high.
Boy, and a pitcher like Bedard, that's what he likes too. Some early run support. He'll continue to attack the strike zone.
Chopper over Beltre's head. Betancourt with a strong throw, and a nice job by Branyan keeping a foot on the bag. 1 down.
Oh, this high chopper just over the reach of Beltre, and Betancourt right there showing off his arm as Nick Punto did earlier in the ball game. Talking about maybe defensive alignment. You see Beltre having to play in because of the possible bunt. And Branyan having to go on the infield side to make that catch.
1 quick out. 10 in a row sent down by Bedard. The only runner the Twins have had came when Denard Span chopped one off the plate for an infield hit leading off the ball game.
Ron Coomer, you got to like the way that Bedard's going at the Twins right now.
Well, you called it early in the game where he's throwing strike one just about every hitter. The other thing that I'm looking at, in the pregame show, we showed him getting hit quite a bit by Twins hitters, and he threw a lot of pitches in the middle of the plate. Tonight, not even close. That backdoor breaking ball right there to the righties that he just threw. He threw one to Punto, threw some to Gomez. Has been very good. the slider down and in, and then he's been able to pitch effectively inside when he has to. Great job so far by Bedard.
Kadire drives it deep down the right field line. It's a foul ball.
Well, he tried to go in right there on Kadire, but let's look at Eric Bedard here tonight with 4 strikeouts in the ball game. The only hit was a high chopper off of home plate. Good curveball right there. Good tight rotation. That's the fastball Ron Kruger was talking about. Start looking for the breaking ball. Sneak that fastball in.
Kadire gets his second hit. Waited for that breaking ball. It was left up a little bit. And he drilled it to left. A 1-out single.
That's what the Twins needed right there. Bedard had retired 10 straight. You need somebody to stop that little streak. And Kadire did it right there with a 1-out base hit. Second hit for the Twins. See, that breaking ball just kind of left up a little bit, and Michael didn't miss it. Took advantage of it.
So now pitching from the stretch for the first time in a long time. Tomorno is fellow Canadian. Ball 1.
Guys, this is going to be an at-bat for Justin. In talking to him early, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Bedard stays away from him most of the at-bat and makes Justin beat him to left field. That's been the way he's been doing it so far, and it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, that's what he did his first at-bat, and he hit that fly ball to left center field. And if you go in, go hard in, miss off the plate, so he doesn't just look away. That's a good pitch right there, moving Justin off the plate.
He's been textbook so far tonight, Bert. Everything you've talked about, and as a hitter, that you know what a guy really wants to do, Bedard's been able to do tonight.
2-0 to Morneau. 3-0. Not sure where that ball missed. Looked like it cut the plate in half. Fastball. 3-1.
Well, good fastball, good location. Now it's 3-1. Does Justin look another fastball right here? Outer half of the plate. He doesn't want to make a mistake like Ron Kruger said. Jojima sitting outside again.
And now 3-2.
And a little extra giddy up on that pitch right there.
Justin trying to pull that ball. If you look, he came off it just a little trying to hook it. And when Bedard hits his spot away on home plate, it makes it really tough for Justin to get to that fastball.
Let's see if he has a lot of confidence in that breaking ball right here.
Tattooed to center. Gutierrez back, makes the catch. Morneau stung it, but in the ballpark. And a well hit out number 2.
Yeah, he has confidence in that breaking ball. He just left it up, and Justin hit it hard, but right at Gutierrez.
Aflac Duck is back this year.
Aflac, where have you been?
One of the 5 left-handed pitchers to have double-digit strikeout games 10 times since 2006. Johan Santana. I think we nailed
Probably,
it, didn't we?
Randy Johnson.
That is a fair ball down the line. Kadire around second. Chavez with great speed fields it in the corner. And Kadire will be held at third. Creedy has his first extra base hit. And the Twins try to put together a rally with 2 out.
Well, Joe Creedy jumping on the first pitch. Looked like a breaking ball. He got the barrel of the bat out. And Beltre playing a little bit off that third base line. There's some room between Beltre and that third base bag. Yeah, the breaking ball staying up. And you can see Beltre had no chance as that ball worked its way down toward the Twins bullpen. And a good job by Chavez getting over there quickly to keep Kadire at third.
Mariners got a big 2-out, 2-run single in the top of this inning. And now Young will try to drive in a pair with a hit. With Creedy at second and Kadire at third. Breaking ball, strike 1. Young in the first pitch. Back in the second inning, and a check swing just hit a chopper back to Bedard. And Jojima will go to the mound. Bedard, Seattle's opening day starter last year. The shoulder surgery that ended his first season with the Mariners.
Yeah, he was on a disabled list a couple times, had some hip problems in April. They put him on a 15-day disabled list. And then he had the bad shoulder. His last start again, July 4th of last year. Had it operated on, had a cyst that was also removed.
1 strike to Delman Young. Fastball inside.
Well, whatever Jojima and Bedard talked about right there, maybe Jojima wanted to come back with another breaking ball. Bedard, pitcher, has that final say. What do I want to do? And he went with a fastball inside.
Breaking ball, and Young waves at it. 1-2.
You can tell by the swings of a lot of the Twins hitters that breaking ball has very tight rotation. It looks like a fastball, and then the bottom just drops out of it.
1-2 to Delman Young. Chopper fielded in foul territory by Beltre. Talking with former Twins great Tony Oliva before the game today, and he complimented Beltre for a key play in the game last night. The Twins were trying to put together a rally, and Alexi Casilla hit that little squibber, went down the line, and Beltre backhanded and threw out the speedy Casilla from foul territory. And Tony said, if that ball gets by Beltre, that's a triple for Casilla, and who knows where the inning or the game ends up.
Even though Beltre, we've talked about maybe sometimes his lack of offense that the club would like to have. 2-time Rolling Gold Glove winner the last couple of years. Good defensive third baseman.
Twins come up a hit short in their 4th inning rally. The 4th, and the Mariners lead Nick Blackburn and the Twins 4-0. Thursday's game not on television, and when the game isn't on, you can still see all the plays and at-bats that matter most during Twins squeeze play. A 30-minute condensed version of select non-televised Twins games. Catch the action from the Twins and the Mariners Thursday afternoon at 7 o'clock Thursday night on Twins squeeze play, only on Fox Sports North. Fastball just off the plate to Ken Griffey Jr. It was 20 years ago that Ken Griffey Jr. was a rookie. So was Omar Vizquel, and so is Randy Johnson. And all 3 of them are still playing. Vizquel is a utility infielder, a backup for the Texas Rangers. Randy Johnson pursuing his 300th win for the San Francisco Giants this year. It's the first time in baseball history that's ever happened, where 3 players came in as rookies together, and 20 years later we're still playing Major League Baseball. And Griffey draws his 2nd walk, and it uncharacteristically is the 3rd walk issued by Nick Blackburn. And all 3, the case can be made, will be in the Hall of Fame. Randy Johnson certainly will get in. Griffey will certainly get in. A call made to the Twins bullpen. And if defensive excellence and separation from the rest of the fielding class at shortstop is to ever be rewarded, Omar Vizquel deserves consideration for Cooperstown as well.
Like Ozzie Smith.
Yep. One strike to Beltre. He's driven in 2 runs. One with a fly ball in the first, and then a 2-out single that scored Chavez in the third. Popped up. Punto calling for it. 1 away. Twins fans, you can get into the game on FSN and talk baseball. You can submit your question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Hunter McGowan from Shoreview wondering whether the Twins have identified a setup man yet. Philip Umber warming up in the Twins pen.
Well, Rich Dalmasic not able to be out in that bullpen due to health reasons. It's Glenn Perkins, I can think has taken over out there. He's answering the phone, watching Philip Umber.
Stelly's back home, by the way, we're happy to say, taken from the hospital today. He's feeling and doing much better, and the hope is that he'll be here on Thursday for the final game of this series and on the plane ride to Chicago.
Yeah, Stelly, get back quick.
So, have they established a setup reliever yet to set things up for Joe Nathan?
Have they? I don't know.
That was the carsoup.com.
I think that's still in the making. I think you're looking at those 2 guys right there, Matt Guerrero and Jesse Crane, along with Greg Breslow. I think all 3 of those guys are going to be the person that or persons that Ron Gardenhire, Rick Anderson will probably look for as a setup man.
1 and 2 to Branyan. Blocked by Morales. And Griffey stays put. Any manager would like to have that formula where a starter would go 6 or 7 and then what? Atherton, Berenguer, Reardon in '87 was often the formula used. And I don't know that is established yet. I think that's something that will evolve over the course of time here in the first couple months.
Right. I mean, I think the last couple of years, you look at the New York Mets, they did not have that setup guy to a closer. And then in last night's victory, they had, J.J. Putz pitch the 8th and Rodriguez pitched the 9th for the save.
That's hooked into the right field corner. Griffey rounds second on his way to third. Branyan will slam on the brakes with Span getting to the ball quickly. And the Mariners have another threat going here in the 5th.
I remember Russell Branyan a couple years ago wanted to retire from baseball after a season with the Cardinals that he did not do very well. Well, he came up with the Brewers last year after playing in AAA. Ended up hitting 12 home runs for the Brewers, and now wants to continue to play. So he could be a big part in Seattle's rebirth, more or less, in that Western Division if he stays hot.
Here's Lopez, and now Blackburn really would love to get a ground ball hit at somebody and get out of this 5th inning mess. There's a ground ball backhanded by Punto. Out at second, relay to first. Got him! What a double play! Punto Casino-Morno.
Wow.
And the Mariners come up empty in the 5th. Anderson and Nick Blackburn talking it over at the end of the dugout.
Yeah, too many pitches right there. Blackburn with 3 walks. I think he only had a couple games last year where he walked 3 batters in a ball game. So unusual start for Blackburn. At 85 pitches, his night might be done. We're on the other side. 54 pitches right now for Eric Bedard, starting his 5th inning of work.
Gomez takes ball 1, bottom third of the Twins lineup, trying to get something going here in the 5th against Bedard. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. Gomez looking for that first hit. 0 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts. Then Jose Morales and Nick Punto. Driven deep to right center field. Ballantine won't catch it. It one-hops the wall. Gomez has an extra base hit. He is not going to be denied third base.
Well, one of the prettiest things in baseball, a triple. Gomez had 7 of them last year, and his first hit this year takes that fastball the other way. Ballantine cannot get to it. And then runners like Gomez, they have that extra gear. And you're going to see it right here as he rounds second. Right about there. That's where he kicks it in. And it's fun to watch.
And now Morales, middle infield, back corner infielders, even with their bases. Breaking ball over for a strike. Morales went down swinging, leading off the 3rd inning. Made a pinch hitting appearance last night for Mike Redmond and grounded out. 0 for 2 in the young season. Up high with a fastball.
Ron Coomer, you got to like what Gogo did right there.
Yeah, I think that's a big at bat because, you know, in facing left-handers coming up, if he does give Denard Span a day off, Gomez is going to have to be the leadoff hitter like he is this inning. And to me, the swing and miss and the ball in the dirt, the big wild swing, bad. But then what does he do? He comes right back and shoots the ball the other way and shows a little discipline at the plate and a little more patience. To me, that's a little bit of maturity that you're seeing from Carlos Gomez.
Well, Kumi also took advantage of a Bedard fastball where Bedard struck him out the first time up on all breaking balls. And Gomez in that at bat swung at a pitch down, and Bedard left a fastball up, and Gomez didn't miss it.
He didn't, and to me, it just looks like I watched him have a lot more patience at home plate in spring training, and now here it's looking like his plan that him and Joe Vavra have come up with of him trying to drive the ball to right center field. You know, that's a great sign right there that you're seeing.
And what does Bedard do against Morales? Comes right back with that strikeout curveball and picks up strikeout number 6.
And now Punto. Punto with a grounder to short his first time up. Twins haven't obviously been able to mount anything offensively. Last night against Hernandez and tonight against Bedard, they've got the leadoff triple here. They've not been able to bunch things together. This figures to be a team that's going to hit more home runs than last year, but still not an abundance of home runs, and they need to build innings, and they've not been able to do that so far.
Oh, you need a big hit. Maybe a Nick Punto base hit right here will open up everything for everybody else. And sometimes that's what it takes. I think at the beginning of the year, everybody presses a little bit. You know, they're 0 for 4, 0 for 5. You don't want it to get 0 for 12, especially the outfielders, because of the rotation that they may find themselves in. Nick Punto knows he's going to get his at-bats. He's the everyday shortstop.
1-1 to Punto.
I got a piece of him. Yep.
By whatever means necessary, Punto got clipped on the left elbow, it looked like. So now first and third, one away, and the lineup rolls over with Span coming up.
Well, Bedard, a lot like Glenn Perkins, are not afraid to pitch inside, and he just got a piece of Punto right there. Runners at the corners, 1 out.
Punto got hit in that area. I guess it was on the other arm, though. He was a left-handed batter late in the WBC. It was his throwing arm. Here's Span, a chopper for a base hit in the first and a fly ball to left in the third. Punto playing for the Italian team. As Ron Gardenhire said, he played for Italy because he once had gone to Little Italy and visited. Why Ron Gardenhire thought he'd be the manager for the Canadian team, because he lives in a little Canada.
Yeah.
Into right field. Span delivers. Gomez scores. Punto to third. And the Twins get their first run of the night against Bedard.
Well, Denard Span just reaches out, hits it past Russell Branyan at first base into right field. Branyan diving for the ball. The ball gets by him. Valentine gets it back in. But Denard Span picking up his first RBI of the year on his second hit of the ball game.
Gomez, after the leadoff triple, comes in. It's 4-1. Tying run at the plate, and Alexi Casilla threatening to bunt. He takes ball one. Casilla with a couple of ground balls so far. Once to first, once to short. Good take. 2-0. Robbie Ince-Makowski was down on the field when Denard Span and Ken Griffey Jr. had a little bit of a chat.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys know Denard Span grew up in Tampa, Florida, but his favorite player growing up and to this day is Ken Griffey Jr. I asked him during BP today if he's ever met Ken Griffey Jr. He said he met him briefly last year when Griffey was with the White Sox, and I said, how about yesterday? He goes, talk to him briefly. He told me yesterday he wanted to talk to me, and I said, any idea what he's going to say? He said, I'm not sure, but I hope I didn't do anything bad. But I think that talk did him a little bit of good today, guys.
2-1 to Casilla. Breaking ball left up just a little bit, and it's 3-1 with Cuddyer on deck.
I think the last couple innings I've seen Bedard throw some very good curveballs, but then he's left a couple up. He left one up to Cuddyer in his last at bat.
Span goes. It's a swing and a miss, and the throw to second not in time. So Casilla swung through strike two. Jojima's throw not quite in time, and the Twins get a speedy runner at second base in Denard Span.
Yeah, Span getting a very good jump right here. Bedard with that high leg kick. Good throw by Jojima, but Span just beat the throw.
So now a full count to Casilla, and a hit to the outfield could score two more. And instead a fastball, and Casilla swings over the top, 2 away.
And strikeout number 7 for Bedard.
He's mixed it up. He's gotten strikeouts with both the fastball and the off-speed stuff.
He threw Justin Morneau that breaking ball on 3-2 that Justin lined into center field for an out. But right there, you throw so many curveballs, and you can show the opponent that you can get it over at any time. Makes that fastball a little bit quicker, and that's how he struck out Casilla right there.
Twins need a big 2-out hit from Michael Cuddyer. He snaps a breaking ball over. It's been all or nothing for Cuddyer so far this year. 2 for 6, 2 singles, and 4 strikeouts.
So just make contact.
Put it in play. Or knock it out of play. High fastball, 0-2. Twins had a chance with Delman Young at the plate. 2 men in scoring position in the 4th, and Bedard struck him out. Same spot here. A strikeout of Casilla, and now Bedard quickly ahead of Cuddyer. And he almost pulled the trigger on another pitch up and away. Throughout the season last year, the Twins were far and away the best team with men in scoring position. And so far in a game and a half, they've not had that big clutch hit yet. Moves them off the plate, 2-2. You saw Corcoran warming up in the Seattle bullpen.
Well, started Kadire off with a breaking ball, then fastball that they threw by him, and then a couple fastballs, one up, and then that last fastball up and in. See if they go back inside or if he goes to that curveball.
Fouled off his front leg.
He went with a curveball. Kadire fouling it off.
So Jojima to the mound. Kadire getting some time here to try to walk it off. Kadire wearing that pad. Philip Umber warming up, and given the shot we showed you coming out of break a little while ago, it would appear that Umber will pitch the 6th inning for the Twins. And the Blackburn's night is done. 2-2 to Michael Kadire. Just a little bit high. Ooh.
Boy, not missing by much. He went to a fastball inside, and Chuck Merriweather, I think he's missed some calls back there on both sides.
Full count to Kadire with Morneau on deck. Fouled back. Now the Twins had a tough time at one point. Bedard had retired 10 men in a row. But now 5 of the last 8 batters, 5 of the last 9 batters have reached. And they need one more to deliver here to draw this game a lot closer.
Let's see if he goes to that curveball right here. Goes back to the fastball. Kadire calling time. You have first base open, but you have Justin Morneau on deck.
3-2 to Michael Kadire. Driven to center field. 2 runs are going to score. Kadire gets that big 2-out hit to drive in 2 more.
Bedard, for some reason on that pitch, looked like he lowered his arm angle, which straightens out that fastball. And Kadire, good level swing, reaches out and hits it sharply into center field with 2 outs. Punto scores, followed by Denard Span to make it a 4-3 ball game. So good 2-out hitting right there by Michael Kadire.
Rick Adair coming to the mound. This has been far and away Bedard's toughest inning. It started with Gomez's triple. He hit a batter. A couple of well-hit base hits, a Span and Kadire, and a quick trip to the mound from the new Seattle pitching coach.
And that was a quick trip. Hi, I'm Rick Bedard. See you later.
Yeah. Morneau is 0 for 2. He hit a fly ball to center, and then he hit a line drive to center that drove Gutierrez back near the warning track.
Well, Bedard's thrown a lot of pitches this inning, 26 pitches already.
Strike 1 to Morneau. My goodness. Chuck Merriweather's had a tough night behind the plate. One and one.
Well, at least he didn't call that a strike. Nothing wrong with an umpire having a big strike zone. It's the one down the middle that he's missed.
Foul, and it's 1-2.
And those are little things in the game, Dix, can sometimes frustrate a pitcher early. I think we saw from Blackburn, and we've seen some pitches already this inning for Bedard, that you make good quality pitches and they're called balls. Sometimes it does play a mind game out there with you as your pitcher.
1-2 to Morneau. And I would think that the most frustrating thing would be the inconsistency where it's called a strike once and you go back out in a situation where you really need a strike and then it's not there.
Well, you know what? He's going to throw maybe 35 pitches this inning, Bedard, and he's going to go back to the dugout and ask Jojima, where was that 2-2 pitch to Michael Kadire? Even though he's through 35, and forget about the other 34, where was that 2-2 pitch?
Right.
That's the one that Bedard's going to ask. And he has a right to ask.
2-2 to Morneau. Got him with a breaking ball. And Jojima ends the inning. But the Twins put together 3 hits. A hit batter to score 3 runs, and it's a 1-run ball game.
North, the Twins scored 3 in that last half inning, pulled it within a run at 4-3. I am now in the Minnesota Lottery winner's circle, and I am joined by Kaylee, who has made the trip from where?
East Grand Forks, Minnesota.
East Grand Forks, Minnesota, comes all the way here to watch the Twins play baseball, and look at her sign right here. Circle me, Bert. My birthday is April 6th, too. Now, how old are you, Kaylee?
20 now.
You just turned 20. Bert obviously celebrated his birthday yesterday. Do you know how old Bert turned yesterday? You want to venture a guess?
58?
Whoa,
58,
very good.
right
very
on the
good.
money. How do you know?
Ding, 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 ding,
Yes.
ding. Because
Now-
he's old.
Almost 3 times your age. You realize that? Okay. So did we get circled already?
Yes, you did.
Yes, we got circled. You and I, first time being circled together. You feel good about that?
I do.
All right, say, Bert, happy birthday to us. Back to you.
Happy birthday happy birthday to us, Bert.
Yes, happy birthday to us.
Philip Umber, the new Twins pitcher, facing Kenji Jojima, leading off the 6th in what is now a 1-run game.
Well, Umber's job right here, come in and throw strikes. Last year came up with the Twins in September, appeared in 5 ball games, 4.63 ERA. Of course, coming over from the Mets in the Johan Santana trade.
And strike 2 to Jojima. It'll be Jojima, Ballantine, and Betancourt. When the decision was made that Umber was going to pitch the 6th inning, it was then a 4-0 Seattle lead. Now a 4-3 game. Bouncer to short. Punto is a chest-high second hop. 1 away. And outings like this are going to be critical for Umber. With Scott Baker eventually being activated, the Twins will need to make a pitching move. Umber is out of options, and so he really wants to make a good impression here, doesn't he, Ron Coomer?
You know, guys, like we did last year, we're going to continue the instruction. I know your favorite part of the post-game show, Bert. And today, what we're gonna show is the pivot today at second base that we saw from Alexi Casilla, the double play that got Blackie out of the inning. Unbelievable double play, Punto to Casilla. So today, that's going to be our instructional in the postgame show, is the double play pivot at second base.
Oh, no better two guys to do it than me and you, too, Coom. I'll slide, okay?
We can butcher that up with the best of them, but at least we'll be able to teach some of the kids something, Bert.
Well, you know what? We might look back at this ball game and say, you know what, that might have been a turning point right there, because that was a great double play.
Yeah, without question. That's one of those things that on this turf also, it makes it a play that with two really quick infielders, you can make that play. Punto's unbelievable with his range, and Lexi, he's got great hands at second base.
Half swing. Nope, says Eric Cooper.
I look forward to those instructionals. They were a big success last year. What I like about them, Dick and Ron, is just the teaching aspect of the game. Just picking little things like turning to double play, the proper way to do it, and how not to do it.
Lifted foul down the line, 2-2. We're getting back to Umber. This is such a critical outing for him because he knows the number game that he is involved in. Twins carrying 12 pitchers. That won't change for a while. But who the 12 are is going to change. Hook inside, and it's 3-2 with Scott Baker, the scheduled opening night starter, due to come back within a week or so. Something has to give, and for Philip Umber, he's out of options. If the Twins want to send him down, they risk losing him to another team through waivers. Popped up and straight up. Creedy comes in and makes a tumbling catch. Morales, I don't think, ever saw the ball, and it almost landed on top of his head.
Well, again, Joe Creedy has played here before. He knows on these type of pop-ups you cannot take your eye off the ball. Morales says, please, you take it because I don't see it. Maybe he did at the last second. Creedy called him off. And good concentration there by Joe Creedy, making a very nice catch.
2 down, and now Betancourt. And Umber delivers strike one.
And that's so important. You know what? Umber getting strike one. Bedard in the 4th and 5th inning, he was only able to get strike one on 2 of the 10 batters he faced. That's a key.
Breaking ball, and Betancourt laces it into center field. Our Aflac trivia question involved left-handed pitchers who struck out 10 or more in a game a lot.
You got to think C.C. Sabathia, probably Cole Hamels.
Santana.
Johan Santana. Scott Kashmir.
Santana's on the list, so we got the answer right. Sabathia, Kashmir. We nailed it.
Yes, we did.
All the way through. Here's Endy Chavez, and Twins are going to try to figure out a way here to keep him off the bases and retire him.
Yeah, bring back Ichiro.
3 for 3, and all 3 hits have led to run scoring for Seattle. A leadoff single in the first, and he scored on a sacrifice fly. A 1-out single in the third. A stolen base later saw him come in on Beltre's single, and then a big 2-run, 2-out single in the fourth that scored Ballantine and Betancourt. Foul over the Twins bullpen. 2 strikes.
Philip Umber, 26 years old at 6'4". Kind of has that high leg kick toward home plate in that stretch position.
For the most part, he had a good spring training. His last outing wasn't very good, nor was his very first one of the Grapefruit League action. Guerrero and Breslow warming up. Betancourt, not much of a base stealer, but I'm sure the Mariners have a scouting report on Jose Morales and know that it's not Joe Mauer behind the plate for the Twins. Big lead by Betancourt. And there he goes. Morales' throw. Not in time.
Well, again, you know, Morales, that wasn't a bad throw. That was, again, stolen off of the pitcher. Chavez stole a base in the third inning off of Blackburn, and right here with that high leg kick, that 2-3 steps. And that's the difference between a good throw and right there, Umber with that high leg kick. Betancourt able to steal his first base of the year.
1-2 to Chavez. Breaking ball. Where was it? I don't know where that pitch missed.
Well, we take a look at it here. It's the curveball. And I guess I told you that's the one right down the middle of the plate he's had a tough time with.
2-2. And now a half swing, and that's strike 3. So Umber pitches a scoreless 6th. Still a 1-run game.
This guy does not need a Coors Light after the game. Nobody does. He almost got hit by that ball, and whew, I can't wait for that Coors Light.
The Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Can. Joe Creedy will lead things off for the Twins in the 6th against a new Seattle pitcher. There he is. Guy in the black shirt's bringing a Coors Light down to him during the game.
Well, Roy Corcoran coming into the ballgame, 28 years old, in his 2nd season with the Mariners. Last year, 50 relief appearances out of the bullpen, 6-2 with a very good 3.22 earned run average.
Creedy pops the first pitch up behind first. Branyan chasing it. Lopez is over there, and he makes a fair ball catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. You can make sure your wardrobe is regular season ready by logging on to twinsbaseball.com for the best in spring training gear, including hats, t-shirts, and jerseys, or regular season gear for that matter. Gear up from the source at twinsbaseball.com, where baseball is always in full swing. Here's Delman Young. There's a strike on the inside corner.
Oh, those are the numbers I was talking about Corcoran last year. Only allowed 1 home run in the 50 relief appearances. Good sinker baller, slider type pitcher.
No swing, says Eric Cooper. 1-1. Hit hard, but right at the second baseman. Lopez over to Branyan, 2 down. Hey, before we get too far deeply into this ball game, we want to pass along our best wishes to the many, many friends and the family of radio legend Steve Cannon, who passed away last night. Steve, of course, a fixture on WCCO radio for so many years. Fought a brief and valiant battle against cancer. He lost that battle last night.
Our condolences to his family.
It was my pleasure years ago to do some work over at CCO Radio, and I got a chance to meet and know Steve just a little bit. And what a great man, and what a great baseball fan. He was a big Twins fan. That hit well to left field, but right at the left fielder Chavez. Gomez is retired, and Corcoran turns in a 1-2-3-6.
Nothing ball game. And then in the fourth inning, a couple more runs scored by the Mariners. Eddie Chavez with a big 2-run single. But the Twins did not give up. 3 runs off of Eric Bedard in the bottom of the 5th inning. The biggest 2-out base hit. Scored a couple runs off the bat of Michael Kadire.
Franklin Gutierrez will lead things off against Matt Guerrero starting the 7th inning.
Guerrero, those are his numbers from last year. Worked in last night's ball game, 1/3 of an inning. Gave up a hit to Lopez that scored a couple runs through 7 pitches, 5 for strikes.
Line to Creedy, 1 away. Guerrero had to clean up the 9th inning, or tried to anyway, after first Jesse Crane, then Craig Breslow had some control issues.
Creedy playing off the line, playing perfectly. As Gutierrez hits that line drive out to him.
And now Griffey. Blackburn got him on a changeup in the 1st inning with a couple of men aboard. Got him to pop up to Casilla and then walked him twice, once in the 3rd, once in the 5th. Breaking ball over, 1-1.
Yeah, Matt has 4 pitches, a fastball, good control of the fastball, the slider, you just saw the curveball, and the changeup.
Wide of the plate, 2-1. Little roller to the right side. Casilla to Morneau, 2 down. That'll bring up Beltray. So Umber pitched a fairly clean 6th, and now Guerrero off to a good start in the 7th. Beltray's driven in a pair tonight with a sacrifice fly and single. And Mariners will see a lot of each other. 10 of the first 57 games, all 10 times these two teams meet, will be in roughly the first third of the season. Last year they didn't face each other until the last third of the season. Chopper, Creedy charges, gets the second hop and fires to Morneau. Very good inning for Matt Guerrero. A 1-2-3 inning on just 8 pitches. Dodge. Live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge. Grab life. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. Mountain Dew fan of the game.
There you go, young lady. You are hereby circled.
And Jose Morales will lead things off in the 7th against Corcoran. Corcoran had a quick 1-2-3 6th inning. He threw just 6 pitches to get the 3 outs. Morales now as a left-handed batter. Struck out twice as a right-handed batter against Eric Bedard. Trying to think the other day of switch hitting catchers that the Twins have had. Probably the most recent, Matt Wahlbeck. Butch Weiniger, of course. And I got stuck there. One and one. Sliced foul over the head of Scotty Alger.
I'm trying to think too. I don't remember any other.
George Mitterwald was a right-handed batter.
Earl Batty, of course, a right-handed hitter.
Brian Harper, a righty. Tim Laudner was here before. He's a right-handed batter. 1-2 to Morales. And he grounds one up the right side. Morales getting the call, if you will, over Drew Butera as the backup catcher, and how extensively he'll be used, I suspect, is going to be determined by how Mike Redmond feels tomorrow. 1-2. 2-2. It would stand to reason that the Twins will, let's say they come back with Morales again tomorrow, and then Mike Redmond, if he's available, would be able to catch the Thursday afternoon game. 2-2. lifted down the left field line, and that'll twist back and beyond the reach of the speedy Chavez.
Well, Morales, 26 years old, from Puerto Rico. We talked about it. He was a September call-up in 2007. Went 3 for 3. Then broke his ankle sliding into second base. That still kind of gave him a lot of problems last year, where he was in AAA Rochester. He hit .315, but his season was cut short because of an ankle strain back in June.
Another 2-2 to the Twins catcher. Struck him out. So Morales has fanned all 3 times, swinging here tonight, 1 away.
A good sinker right there by Corcoran, down and away. Good movement. Eric Bedard got him on a couple breaking balls, and here, well, they got a little late movement on that good 2-seam sinking fastball in a perfect spot.
So now Punto. Twins got their big 2-out hit from Cuddyer, and since then they've gone 0 for 5. Morneau struck out. Corcoran has retired the 4 men he has faced. Punto takes a strike. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 3-run 5th. The Detroit bullpen collapsed. The Blue Jays got 5 late runs and beat the Tigers 5-4. Just off the corner, and it's 1-1.
Well, who's their closer now? Is it Brandon Lyon? That's an area that I think Detroit's going to struggle all season long, is their pitching staff. Dontrell Willis on the disabled list, Bonderman on the disabled list.
There's Todd Jones retired. Zamaya on the disabled list. 1-1 to Punto. Two and 1. Punto trying to get aboard. Twins were down 4-0, and they came up with a 3 spot in the 5th. Corcoran just missing that outside corner. $23,755 here tonight after last night's crowd of just over 48,000. There's the outside corner to fill the count. Punto's taken all 5 pitches. Three and 2 to the Twins shortstop. Oh, what a catch by Betancourt! A leaping stab of Punto's line drive.
Well,
and out number 2.
Yeah, he hit it hard right here, but that inside out swing created that ball to go back towards shortstop. And Betancourt diving for it as that ball kind of sliced right back into his glove. Nice catch right there by Betancourt for the 2nd out of the inning. Very nice defensive play, leaving his feet, keeping that ball in his glove.
Here's Span, who drove in a run with a single in the 5th. And he takes a strike. Span maintained that even though he wasn't hitting much in spring training, that he'd be just fine, or hoped he would be fine come the regular season. And through a game and a half, 15 innings, whatever we played so far, he's probably given the Twins the most consistently good at bats. Drew a couple of walks last night, dropped down a sacrifice, a couple of hits tonight. Finds himself behind in the count now, 0-2. takes a called third strike. So Corcoran has another good inning. 6 up, 6 down for the first Seattle reliever tonight. Tomorrow is Wednesday night. And Wednesday nights are still all about hot dogs again this year. Tomorrow, a Hormel $1 a dog night presented by Country Hearth. Hormel dogs for $1 a piece while supplies last. Limit. Did you hear this now? 2 per customer.
Yeah, Peg just brought me up a dog. I'm fine.
Come see the Twins and Mariners. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com. 2 per customer.
That's okay, Peg Imhoff. Thank you very much for the hot dog.
Well, what you need to do is bring a group of people who only want one, and then you can have their other one. 1-0 to Branyan. Big uppercut swing and a foul. Remember when we saw Branyan with the Brewers last year, there was so much talk about how he had reinvented himself as a hitter, and you can still see it, the more open stance, but the swing still seems to be his classic uppercut swing. Gobbled up by Casilla, and Branyan's retired, 1 away.
Yeah, he's always been a player that has struck out a lot, and what they're hoping here in Seattle to do is cut down that swing a little bit, make more contact, because he does have power. 133 major league home runs, but he's only a career .230 hitter, so they want him to make just more contact. Do that, even though he made the out. Do not strike out as much.
Here's Jose Lopez, a walk, and an 0 for 2 night going. Guerrero sticks a fastball over the inside corner. And the fastball misses the outside corner.
Matt in his 6th season with the Twins.
Off-speed pitch, lifted foul and out of play, 1-2.
Even though Seattle lost over 100 ball games last year, this guy right here had a career year. Hit .297 in 159 games played. As he swings through a high fastball, Matt Guerrero picks up a strikeout. He's retired all 5 batters he's faced so far.
And that'll bring up Jojima.
The ball almost had a little extra on it. As you saw, that ball almost go right past the swinging Lopez for a strikeout.
Jojima, a couple of ground balls to the left side and a fly ball to center. Mariners out hitting the Twins 9-6. That's to left center field. Gomez calls off Young, who ducks out of the way. Another 1-2-3 inning for Guerrero. Both relievers, or both teams relievers, doing well here tonight.
A Toyota post-game wrap. The art of the double play with Bert Blyleven and Ron Coomer, former Twins, going to do the instructional, show you what happens on a double play. We'll talk about Carlos Gomez's swing adjustment, which tonight thus far has led to a triple and a run scored. Plus, we'll get the reaction from the manager of the Minnesota Twins, Ron Gardenhire. That's all coming up following the game on Quest Twins Live, which includes a Toyota post-game wrap. Dick and Bert, back upstairs to you.
Thank you. I'll do the first name. Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you, Robbie.
You haven't tried his last name yet.
No, I have not. It's Mikowski.
Very good. Well, Alexi Casilla will lead things off for the Twins in the 8th against another Seattle pitcher, veteran David Ardsma.
Yeah, Ardsma making his Mariner debut right here last year with the Boston Red Sox. Traded over the winter to the Seattle Mariners from the Red Sox. Last year, 47 relief appearances. Very high 5.55 ERA. This guy has a good fastball. Control has always been an issue.
In 144 2/3 major league innings, he's walked 90 guys. Casilla slaps one to center, and Gutierrez makes the catch, one away.
Yeah, that fastball clocked at 96. Ardsma with a good fastball. You get that fastball up to 98 at times. A knuckle curveball, slider, and a changeup. You said a veteran. He's been with the Giants, the Cubs, the White Sox. Last year with the Boston Red Sox. And an area that Seattle wants to improve, and that's their bullpen. They're hoping that Ardsma can be one of those arms out there.
2 consecutive hits for Cuddyer, and he takes high and tight ball 1.
A bullpen right now that does not have a left-hander in that bullpen. All right-handers.
Brandon Morrow, their closer. He was warming up in the game last night till they scored a couple of 9th-inning runs. And 2-0. And you've got to wait Ardsma out. If he can do as he did to Casilla and throw that first pitch over, well, then the rules change. But Cuddyer now with a 2-0 count. And an off-speed pitch that he floats over for a called strike. 2-1.
It reminds me a little bit of a Grant Belfour, that type of arm. You know, can just overpower the ball and overpower a hitter at times, but sometimes has lack of control. And Belfour found it, really. I mean, with the Tampa Bay Rays, he found his stuff. He finally hit the spot. And Ardsma, 27 years old, originally signed by the Giants, #1 pick out of Rice University back in 2003.
And a fastball, mid-90s fastball, fouled straight back by Cuddyer. Twins haven't seen too much of Ardsma, even though he was with the White Sox a couple of years ago. The White Sox were where the Mariners are, trying to improve the bullpen, and they brought in two hard throwers, Ardsma and Mike McDougall. 3-2, and Kadire with a check swing. Strike three. He's called out on strikes on a check swing, 2 down.
Well, it looked like Michael went too far from this angle right here, but I'm way up high behind home plate. Take a look right here. Did he go too far? Well, he tried to keep the barrel of the bat. This will give us the true test right here. Boy, I don't think he went. Michael Kadire couldn't believe what Eric Cooper just told him.
Morneau looking for his first hit of the season. Has faced Ardsma 3 times and walked twice. Driven to right. Ballantine is there to make the catch. So Ardsma comes in and retires Casilla, Kadire, and Morneau in quick fashion. Move to the 9th inning. Students with a valid ID can get into tomorrow night's game for just $4. It's Rasmussen College Student Nights presented by B96, and there's no cheaper ticket in town. Rasmussen College student night tickets must be purchased here at the Dome. So you can call 800-33 Twins for further details. Luis Ayala, who pitched last night, pitched effectively, is asked to come in here and pitch a quick top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, both bullpens have pitched outstanding so far. 3 shutout innings for the Twins between Umber and Matt Guerrero, and 3 shutout innings for the Seattle Mariner bullpen. Ayala last night threw 11 pitches, 9 for strikes in a shutout inning. Did give up 1 hit in that 6-1 loss to the Mariners last night.
Ballantine will lead things off. His was the first of 3 consecutive singles with 2 out in the 4th that led to 2 big runs for the Mariners. And Ayala slings that first pitch over for a strike. Ballantine, Betancourt, and Chavez to face Ayala here in the 9th. Oh, 2. Earlier, a question about who was going to be the setup man for the Twins when the Twins have a lead in the late innings. Ayala figures to be in the mix. I don't know that it's an absolute. Crane figures to get some opportunities there. Up high, 1-2. With Ayala, you've got a veteran who last year was thrown into pressure situations with the Mets fading and needing a closer. He took the ball every time he was asked to take it. Down and in, 2-2.
He had 9 saves for the Mets last year. Again, between the Nationals and the Mets, 81 relief appearances. So he was used a lot in those 81 appearances, 75 and 2/3 innings pitched.
2-2. Hit hard through the hole on the left side. A leadoff single for Ballantine, his second hit of the ball game. So Ballantine aboard, and that'll bring up Betancourt.
Bruce Hines, the third base coach for Seattle, going through a set of signs to Betancourt. There's Bruce Hines.
And the same situation in the 8th inning last night when the Mariners were ahead 4-1 after a Jojima single. They did not have Betancourt bunt, and he bounced into a double play. Runner goes, a hit and run instead, and it's flared foul. So Ayala gets ahead of the number 9 hitter. Popped up, foul ground, and Morales back near the net. And it's out of play. 2 strikes. Ayala, like Crane, Morneau, and Punto, missed part of camp because of the WBC. Playing from Mexico.
Ayala signing as a free agent by the Twins.
Fouled straight back. Betancourt, like Lopez, not one to take a walk. Free swinger, doesn't strike out all that much. Got him looking. So Ayala clips the inside corner for the first out of the night.
He went with that 2-seam running fastball, and good job by Morales right here, kind of holding it for a split second and bringing it back in. Telling you, Merriweather's only had trouble with the balls down the middle.
He's called the corners.
Yes, he has.
1 down, and here is Chavez. Squaring the bunt, taking a strike. Can the Mariners hope that along about the middle of the month they'll get Ichiro Suzuki back? Chavez through 2 games has filled in quite well for Seattle. 1 for 4 last night, 3 for 4 tonight. Morales, a fair ball catch, looked at second, throws to first instead. Too many people in the way. The pitcher, the second base umpire.
I don't quite understand why Chavez is bunting right there when Betancourt was not asked to bunt. Morales comes out, as you mentioned, he thought about second, but make sure you get an out in that situation, and he throws it to Morneau for the second out.
So a runner at second, 2 away, and Gutierrez. No sacrifice, of course, for Chavez. And the strike. Gutierrez hit a line drive to Creedy his last time up. To center field, a base hit. Gomez charges. Around third, Ballantine will score, and the Mariners get a huge insurance run in the ninth. And Gutierrez comes up with another big hit in this series.
Well, left the ball up right there. Gutierrez taking right back up the middle. Hit that big 2-run home run in the 6th inning of last night's ball game. A little insurance run as he drives in his 3rd run of the year with his 2nd hit of the ball game.
So as unexpected as that little bunt was by Chavez, it did advance a runner into scoring position, and the Mariners get another big 2-out hit.
They kind of did it backwards, but it worked.
Yep. 4 of their 5 runs tonight have been driven in with 2-out hits. Griffey to center field. Gomez back to end the inning. Instead of a 1-run lead, it'll be a 2-run lead for Brandon Morrow as we go to the bottom of the ninth.
Well, the Seattle Mariners, they scored early. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th to take a 4-0 lead. Twins came fighting back with 3 in the bottom of the 5th. But that big insurance run in the top of the 9th makes it a 5-3 Seattle lead. Gutierrez getting that big RBI single with 2 outs. And Brandon Morrow coming in, the new closer in Seattle. I think the Mariners have known exactly what to do with this guy.
In fact, as recently as the middle of March, he was going to be their number 3 starter. And a little bit of a forearm strain, and he will start the season as their closer. There were a number of other candidates, but Morrow's been handed the job. He had some experience at this last year. He got 10 saves when J.J. Putz was on the shelf.
Well, they're almost doing to him what Boston did with Papelbon. You know, Papelbon wanted to start, and he ended up spring training a couple years ago, going to be a starter, and they had no reliever, so he relieved, and now he's one of the game's best.
Here's Creedy to start the bottom of the 9th. Twins down a pair. He throws hard. You can see that, 94 miles per hour, and hitting the corner for strike 1.
Good fastball, split finger, hard slider, and a changeup.
Fouled back.
Morrow, the number 1 pick by the Mariners in 2006 out of the University of Southern California.
Drafted ahead of, among others, of course, Tim Lincecum, who won of the National League Cy Young Award last year. 2 strikes to Creedy. Fouling it back. Creedy with a double in the 4th. Fan, I guess, made a nice catch.
I need to correct myself. He's out of the University of California. That is up in Berkeley area, not USC.
0-2 to Creedy. The screen clocked at 99 miles per hour. Mentioned he had a forearm strain. He's also been diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic. And for an assortment of reasons, the Mariners made the move. Creedy skies one near the Seattle dugout. And just over the railing and out of play.
I remember Baltimore Orioles. Jason Johnson was a diabetic.
Yep, and he, Johnson, carried that insulin pump under his belt line. Mark Lowe of the Mariners, also pitching out of their bullpen, is another diabetic. Lowe was just recently diagnosed. Morrow in high school. Creedy strikes out, 1 away. So 1 gone, and that'll bring up Delman Young.
We talked about the good fastball. There's the slider right there. You can see how quick that dips. And Creedy was a strikeout victim. The 11th Twin to go down on strikes. Excuse me, the 12th.
Young 0 for 3. Strikeout once. A couple of ground balls surrounding his strikeout, and he takes ball 1. Twins don't have much history with Morrow. He didn't pitch against the Twins last year. There is some left-handed pop available for the Twins to pinch hit with Kubel and Busher on the bench, but now down 2 runs unless the Twins get a runner aboard. Ron Gardenhire might not make a bench move. 1-1. That run the Mariners got in the top of this inning, so huge for them. In that Creedy, Young, and if the Twins can work their way through the bottom of the lineup here, big difference being down by 2 runs rather than 1. To right center field, Gutierrez in the gap makes the catch. Fairly well hit ball for out number 2. Well, the Mariners playing without Ichiro, but our Quest player of the game, his replacement.
Yeah, Eddie Chavez having a good day at the plate. 3 hits, couple RBIs, has scored a couple runs, stolen base.
That was a big one there. That 2-out single in the 4th inning that scored 2 runs and made the lead at the time 4-0. Last hope for the Twins and Carlos Gomez with Jose Morales on deck. Outside a ball. Jason Kubel's in the on-deck circle. So if Gomez can somehow get aboard, keep the game alive, Jose Morales will come out, and then Mike Redmond will be asked to catch. High and tight. 2-0. Control has, at the major league level, been an issue for Morrow. And he misses to Gomez. 3-0. 84 walks in 128 innings. So as hard as he throws and as wicked as that breaking ball is, he, like Artsma, has had a history of having his control slip away from him. 3-0. Right down the middle.
And that's exactly where the next pitch will be. So Favre talking to Nick Punto.
3-1 to Gomez. Big swing and a miss to fill the count.
And that 1-run lead, Dick, right here again. It's going to be a fastball pretty much right down the middle of the plate. He doesn't walk anybody. He sets his fingers up for that split finger, but it's going to be another fastball, guaranteed.
And Gomez spins it back to the net. Hoping to get his designated hitter in the game as a pinch hitter. Kubel in the on-deck circle. And a pitch sailing up and in, and Gomez got a piece of it.
Well, you sit at home and say, boy, he swung at ball 4 because the ball was up and in, but on 3-2, you don't want to be, you don't want to take call third strike. You want to be aggressive at the plate. Morrow's just trying to rear back and let it go right down the middle of the plate.
Another 3-2 to Gomez. Nearly hit him and he's aboard. Gomez will get Kubel to the plate, representing the tying run. Morales had struck out 3 times swinging.
Now Kubel, a designated hitter in last night's ball game, 1 for 4.
One pinch hit home run. Fans haven't had much to stand for. They're standing, many of them are, for this at bat. Gomez runs. Kubel takes. And here comes Rick Adair.
Rick Adair just going to come out here and try to settle him down, get him back down in the strike zone. Just rushing a little bit too much. Little pat on the behind. So stay down, trust your stuff.
They're standing. They'd love extra innings, even though they've got to go to school tomorrow. Two and oh. Nathan warming up in the event there is an extra inning. Punto on deck. Little anxiety in the Seattle dugout. Wider than the first 3 pitches, and back-to-back walks will get Busher to the plate, hitting for Punto. Punto 0 for 2. He'd been hit by a pitch and scored. So the first 2 men retired, although Young hit the ball fairly well. And now back-to-back 2-out walks, and Busher comes up representing the winning run. Off the bench for the Twins, Brendan Harris is going to run for Jason Kubel. So Ron Gardenhire making, in essence, every bench move he can make here, hoping that the one player left available will catch the 10th inning. That's Mike Redmond.
Well, the outfield for Seattle playing deep, no extra base hits. Will allow Harris to score from first.
Ball one. And Morrow hasn't gotten close to the strike zone since he walked Gomez. Pitched last night. He may pitch tonight. Miguel Batista. There's a strike, 1-1.
Well, you almost have to take a strike right there after that ball 4 to Gomez and 4 fastballs out of the strike zone to Kubel. Now Busher ready and looking for that fastball.
How about a wild pitch?
Busher had a great spring. Hit .393 in the spring with a couple home runs.
Breaking ball, not close, 2-1. Anything to get Harris into scoring position, where just a single could tie the game. Two and one to Brian Busher. Two and two.
I think, Dick, what we've seen the last couple of hitters is that fastball that was at once at 96, now about 91. He's trying to aim that ball over the plate.
Twins again down to their last strike tonight. Low, and they're full, and the runners will leave early. The count is full. And Gomez will leave early from second, Harris from first with Span on deck. Three and two to Brian Busher. Fouled back, and Morrow will have to reload. Busher came to camp leaner this year. Worked very hard again to win a spot. Trying to come up with a big early season hit. Two to Busher. They're loaded up for Denard Span. 3 straight 2-out walks. And the tying run is in scoring position. And Morrow will be unable to complete his first save opportunity.
Wakamatsu coming out to make a pitching change.
Miguel Batista will try to save it for the Mariners. walks. And now Miguel Batista, who 4 years ago was a closer for the Blue Jays, will try to pin it down for Seattle.
Yeah, he saved 31 ball games that year, and since he's become a Mariner, he's kind of been a starter, reliever, and now he's asked to get a save here.
Span on the night, 2 hits and 4 at bats. The tying run at second. Strike on the outside corner.
Batista worked in last night's ball game, the 9th inning, after Felix Hernandez worked the first 8. A shutout 9th, but he did give up a base hit to Joe Crede with a strikeout through 18 pitches.
1 strike to Span. Chopper to third. Beltre has no play. And Span gets his 3rd hit. And it's a 5-4 game.
Well, Denard Span picking up another RBI, his 2nd of the ball game, and Beltre did the right thing right here. Another high chopper that hit on that hard ground right in front of home plate. And Beltre, if he gets this ball and maybe throws across the diamond, maybe it thrown it away. That's again where that run that the Mariners scored in the top of the 9th inning, a huge run.
So now Casilla. 4 straight batters have reached. Span the only one to put the ball in play. Casilla looking for his first hit. Driven to center field, a base hit. Harris scores. Busher is going to come home, and the Twins win it.